I didn't plan on making another video talking about iDubbbz this soon, but this situation has gotten a lot worse super quickly. It's gotten so bad that Creator Clash 3 might even get cancelled. To start, Harley from Epic Mealtime, which I've talked about several times with this series, dropped out of the boxing event via Twitter saying, "I'm not boxing." I think this was a follow-up tweet from all the political talk coming from the Ian and H3 debate from the content cop and stuff and the fallout from that. Harley, from what I've heard, is a Jewish man, and like I showed in the clip before with Nicholas DiOrio and Harley talking in my last video, Harley does not like the connection to the conflict that's going on right now to the boxing event. He didn't like how both those things were mixed together. I forgot to actually add this in my last video, but Harley did say something after the release of the H3H3 content cop, and here it is. The content cop was a lot to process. Since I feel partially tied up with Creator Clash 3 and all that, I will let it marinate in my mind before I can conjure up a meaningful thought. As for my initial thoughts, I only have one right now. Denims looks really good. That part was pretty funny, but it seems like maybe he made up his mind about it now, and him quitting the event or dropping out of the event is what, is his, in the end decision. And a lot of people have been emphasizing that Ian did not drop them. He dropped himself from the event.
Okay, I did just get clarification from Harley Morenstein. I appreciate it. I'll have to move this up in the segment, but he just wanted to clarify that he dropped. Ian and Anissa didn't drop him. He left on his own accord.
Thank you for the $5, my man.
So that is something that he wanted you guys to know. That was just to be, because people are saying, "Oh, is he leaving the fight? Is he not leaving the fight?"
And I can't really blame Harley Morenstein for him dropping out. I can't really blame him, especially whenever you have that faith and you're kind of now mixed in with this other debate that you probably don't really exactly want to be completely in. I think he also was arguing with someone on Twitter right before he announced that he was dropping from the event. And it's been a few days now, and there's been no update since that. So I guess that's his final decision. Which I hope he doesn't revert from it, because probably not make him look best if he reverted back and was like, "No, I'll actually do the event." And mentally, as a fighter, you need to be all in. And if you're not all in, then you need to definitely maybe go for another event. And I really hope that if Harley does want to fight again, that he does do another event, whether it's with Misfits or... Is there another promotion? I can't remember right now, but I hope that he does get his other chance of fighting, if he truly wants to. Or if it's not even because of the conflict that is going on with H3 and all that, if there is something else, then hopefully, he says that. Hopefully he's all okay. But after a day or so later, from Harley dropping out of the fight, another fighter dropped out. Lena Ayad dropped out of the event as well. Lena is a part of the H3 podcast, or is at least siblings with AB, one of Ethan's helpers on the podcast, who I think also fought on Creator Clash. But H3 announced the dropping out on his podcast, and AB backed it up.
Any of us took lightly, least of all AB and Lena specifically. It is with great regret that we announced that Lena will not be participating in Creator Clash either.
Yes. First off, I apologize to any of the fans who were going to see Lena. It's been a lot, and Lena's just sort of been thrown in the middle. She was kind of put in a really shitty situation, and boxing is a very serious thing, and you need your full concentration. And it was getting to a point that she was just caught in the middle of stuff, and I was afraid. And she was distracted at practice, and there's a lot to it. And she wasn't dropped. It was sort of it wasn't fair to her opponent, Froggy, as well, because if Lena was to post and promote, she would get. And if she didn't post, she's still getting. And it's not fair to Froggy and her experience. So, yeah, after talking out with everyone, we figured it was best if she drops.
Now, if you don't remember, she actually had a really bad reaction to the release of the H3H3 content cop. I think she had a panic attack in the bathroom after she heard it got released, or was like really crying and did not take it well. I didn't even realize that it was one of the fighters on the card, and I was wondering why they emphasized so much about like Lena. Now that I've realized it, it's a lot deeper than I thought. It makes a lot of sense as to why she is dropping out of the event as well, being so mentally distracted from the content cop, feeling probably kind of betrayed and backstabbed, especially because I feel like you would kind of feel safe because, like, oh, I'm with the H3 podcast. I'm also in the event. These guys are cool with each other, or at least decently fine with each other. And then it just, like, crumbles all in front of you. I would feel pretty bad too and not want to fight either. There was another clip that came out from this podcast episode as well, where apparently Ian and Anissa were screwing over Harley payment-wise and deceived him.
Harley was smart. Apparently he got paid up front.
What? Interesting.
Insane.
It is insane. That's part of what pissed Harley off, is that he told them from the beginning that he would only do it if everyone was getting paid the same amount. He also, interestingly, maybe I shouldn't say this because I'll leave it to him, but I think he said this publicly already about the payment. He did. He said everyone needs to get paid the same amount, and they agreed. And then he was talking to his opponent, LA Beast, and he was like, oh no, I'm getting paid this much, which is like significantly more than you.
That's horrible.
But Harley had the foresight to ask for the money up front, which is how it should be when they're asking you to do all of this training. How much did you guys spend?
It's pretty much up there. I think we probably spent around $12,000.
So you guys spent $12,000.
Oh!
And like, why should you guys be expected to front the cost for that, for their event? It doesn't make any sense to me. But there it is. I didn't expect them to totally screw you guys in this way. So I will be reimbursing you guys, so don't worry about the money.
Appreciate
Hassan
that.
would never.
Can I just tell you thank you?
You're welcome. Don't worry about it. It's the least I could do after tanking your entire life savings.
Thank you.
So Harley wanted to get everyone paid the same amount, which is pretty fair. Whether, you're like the lowest followed person or the highest followed, you still got paid the same amount. And Ian apparently agreed to it, but then doesn't do it. That sounds like it could be a possible contract break on Ian's end, because why wouldn't you just like put that on paper anyway? I feel like that would be like a contract negotiation type of thing. But I don't know. And that just even helps Harley's case even more as to why he is leaving. But now with 2 fights off of the card, it makes it to where there is only 7 fights on a card that is $35 for the pay-per-view. And the 2 biggest pools, an H3 person and then the heavyweight main event, are now gone. Meaning there is now less hype, less fan bases to watch this from. And I talked about this in my video. The people that iDubbbz chose don't have that much pull. There's like a handful of people that actually have like a decent following, are relevant, and have eyes on them that would possibly buy and watch this. But with Harley out and with the anti-H3H3 people, you've basically alienated a huge portion of people because somehow you're just that terrible of promoters and managers. And how bad of people, promoter or manager, do you have to be to anger Harley, the guy that has been defending the event whenever it went against him to defend it? And for him to leave is actually insane, as they lost someone who truly had a love for the game, the sport, and the promotion. Ma on Twitter says, I just want to emphasize how insane it is. For years now, Creator Clash, Ian, and Anissa have been getting criticism. Whether I saw people talk smack about them to Harley, he was always defending and supporting them publicly, often to his detriment. Now he's not boxing, seemingly after a public argument he had with some useless pig that orbits Hassan and harasses Ethan. And it's true, this dude really did defend them a lot. But due to both Harley and Lena dropping out of the event, this sent Ian into panic mode. He started asking multiple streamers and YouTubers to possibly fight him on the event, or at least was trying to set up more fights on the card last minute. And if Ian was trying to fight people, this means that he was ready to fight on 8 weeks notice, which is about 2 months, and trying to fight people with no pre-knowledge, training, or preparation. And so far, everyone who has came out publicly about, like, Ian reaching out to them has declined, publicly, and for, like, valid reasoning. One streamer goes by the name of Tectone, who I know nothing about, so I don't know if he's, like, a good or bad dude, but you all can let me know in the comments. But here's his story on the situation.
iDubbbz DM'd me, and he asked, how much do you weigh? So I think he's going to try to get me in Creator Clash, which, by the way, before that comes out and before that gets invited, before I get invited to that, I'm not interested. I'm good. Yeah, I'm good, man. I'd rather do a fighting event that isn't run by somebody who stabs their best friend in the back. Yeah, no, I'm good, man.
And then it came out that streamer Ice Poseidon was also asked to fight on the card and talked about it on stream as well.
I got invited to box iDubbbz in his event, his boxing event for Creator Clash, but I had to decline that because if I were to lose the iDubbbz, I would be extremely embarrassed. And I'm not very good at boxing, so I was like, no, I can't do that.
You guys have the same stats, though.
I know he has 2 losses, I have 2 losses. But that's what I'm saying. If I lose to him, there's no coming back from that. Because he's like a skinny dude.
I think you'd win.
I mean...
And I think everyone would be wanting you to win, too.
Yeah, but I have no training at all. And it's very soon. So I would gas out in 5 seconds, and then and he's definitely been training.
He said that he didn't, but I think he's lying.
Of course, yeah. He's definitely been training, and I haven't. So it's just like it's an easy win for him. So I had to say no. Although I wanted to do it because it would be really fun, but no training. It's just a waste of time. Gas out in 10 seconds, and then lose to iDubbbz. Like, bruh. I was just wondering why he asked me, because me and him have nothing to do with each other. Like I've never even spoke to him. So I don't know why he asked me to box him. Like, surely he has other options.
Maybe he wants your clout.
I mean, he definitely has more clout than I do. But, I don't know. I think he's struggling to find people to box him, if I had to guess. Because I don't know why he would ask me.
Why would they not box him?
I mean, I don't know. I think a lot of people just don't like boxing. It's, like, really hard. If you're not a boxer, you know, it's really hard it's hard to do. You know, and if you lose the iDubbbz, I mean, it's like a bit embarrassing.
Ice Poseidon brings up a good point. It's not really fair to most people Ian's going to ask to fight on the card because of how short notice it is and how some people have little to no experience. There's a huge difference between someone's performance when it's short notice and a full camp. Like Ice talked about, gassing out is one of the biggest factors that usually happens whenever you come into a fight on short notice. If you watch combat sports, then you know anyone smart in the opposite end of Ian's situation should not take this offer, especially when you aren't as experienced. Because you're not going to be good as these pro fighters like in the UFC. You can't be like Dan Ige, who got off his couch like hours prior to a like co-main event to fight, you know, one of the top up-and-comers. These guys, these pros that are in the UFC or these bigger, more experienced fighters can go short notice fights and do good because they are better and more experienced than you. And on top of that, they are probably training 24/7, unlike all these streamers and YouTubers. Ice had a pretty realistic approach, but with these two publicly speaking out against the invitation, that means others are getting these texts and calls maybe at some point. And with some silence right now, with only 2 people like coming out about this, maybe some people are in negotiations and not declining the offer. I don't know who or why people would accept these offers, but who knows? But who knows what's happening behind the scenes? The only things that are being said, like from, you know, Ian's side, are from people in the Discord, like, I guess, moderators in it. I think the Discord is for, like, Ian's podcast or something. I'm not exactly sure. Or maybe just for Ian himself. But the statement says, "Hey guys, a public statement will be made soon about Creator Clash from official channels," whatever that means. They also said that more info would be coming out soon, and are not really going to be talking or going into more depth about Creator Clash till the next statement. So who knows what or when the next announcement is, which, I mean, if the event is in less than 8 weeks, it has to be, like, pretty soon. Some people are guessing it will be canceled or they're trying to get new fights set up. Maybe they will delay the card. That's the only, like, new thing I could possibly throw out, but I don't think they will. And really just Who knows? Max Cool said on Twitter, "This is going to bankrupt iDubbbz. He still has to pay the fee for the arena, and nobody is going to buy a ticket. What was this guy thinking picking this fight before this big stupid influencer event?" Which is a good point, and I didn't know Ian still had to pay for the arena, which is insane. Like, I thought this would be already paid for, like, way in advance. The big thing that was supposed to help promote the Creator Clash event ended up actually destroying it completely. H3 has made several Instagram story posts saying a bunch of stuff towards Ian and Anissa, but one of the more highlighted ones right now are "Silence is something" quote from, the H3 content cop, while also showing a Reddit post from someone on the H3 subreddit saying, "Harley dropped out 48 plus hours ago, Lena dropped out 24 plus hours ago, website is unchanged, no announcement on socials, and Anissa is active on socials talking about going on vacation. Ticket sales are still open with no announcement. Is Creator Clash just Ian and Anissa's version of a crypto rug pull?" This rug pull homage is a pretty unique and cool way of thinking about Creator Clash. Do y'all think that guy has a point? Is it kind of like a rug pull? I could kind of see where he's coming from, but at the same time, all these guys are going to get refunded, and if they don't, that's a huge issue coming up in the future if no one gets their pay-per-views refunded. But also, yes, Anissa has been active on Twitter recently, but only talking about baking cookies and going to Austin, Texas, and of course politics. Also, to make all this worse, H3 and Hassan had a debate earlier today as of editing this video, and she would rather make tweets regarding that situation, just kind of like a live responding to it, rather than actually talk about her boxing event. It's insane. She has said nothing about her event that is going to put her more into the hole, which is really weird. I would personally be so focused on, talking about the event, but do you just not care? Are you canceling the event? Has there already been decisions made in the background? Or are you just that egotistical and confident that it's going to succeed either way or something, that you're not even going to shed light on it? There's also been some other stuff going on in the iDubbbz community. The subreddit mods on Ian's Reddit are now saying they're victims of harassment, and now are really censoring posts. The Reddit post says, "Addressing concerns. I want to address our community. We're doing everything we can to ensure this space remains ours. We're removing brigading, harassment, and bad faith actors as quickly/efficiently as we can manage. Please be patient with us. If you're a part of our community and think you've caught a stray from the moderators, please reach out. In the meantime, expect us to be locking posts and comments and requiring manual approval of a lot of user content. We'll get through this community the same way we've gotten through things before. Don't forget that support is strong in the Discord. Come hang out with the actual creators and fans. How brigading is defined. We did not invent this. We are held to this standard. Here's the Reddit site rules. Here's the admin clarifications. Here's even more. Perhaps more importantly is a post from admin about the Reddit stance on bullying and harassment. To users brigading, we hear your frustration, but brigading isn't a solution. Find an alternative. Don't get me wrong, they probably are getting some hate and harassment, but not high enough level to where it's like this, where they basically have to lock down the entire subreddit. Anissa and Ian are both avid users of the block button to people who are already doing nothing really wrong or properly critiquing them, and I think the Reddit mods are probably as soft as they are. But I don't know. I don't look at their Reddit, so who knows? Unless you look at their Reddit, you can let me know. But I can assume it's just like how Ian and Anissa do on Twitter. So it's probably just a little bit of an over-exaggeration. Also, I wonder how fast I would get banned if I tried to join the Ian Discord. Just for actually being in there. Not for saying anything, but just joining the Discord and they're like, I know, I blocked you on Twitter. Okay, you're gone. Some people said that if they do Hassan versus Sam Hyde, it would actually save the card. And this has been a fight people have wanted for a minute now. Ever since Sam Hyde's I think before Sam Hyde's first fight in boxing. Sam Hyde also did call out after winning his fight, Hassan, so it's been something talked about for a long time now. And I would honestly love to see it. I want to see Sam Hyde get back in the ring in general, but he also is 40, so he probably shouldn't really get back in there unless it's someone about the same age or older. Just the Minx said that she'd fight Frogan, which would never happen, but I would love to see. And the only fight I could truly set up in my mind that would make sense on such short notice is iDubbbz versus Deji. I think that would truly be an interesting one. And I think that would actually get a lot of pay-per-view sales, and get a lot more attention on the event, and everything. And also, where Deji has so much experience, coming in on short notice probably wouldn't affect him that bad. And of course, iDubbbz has experience himself. I don't even know if they're in the same weight class or if they can even get close, but that's the only one that really comes to mind. But let me know what y'all think in the comments down below. Do y'all have any interesting matchups to do against Ian? Maybe Rice Gum? Well, no, because he's not experienced. Never mind. We're saying on short notice, but you can also do full fight camps and stuff, like people you'd want to see him fight, or you want to see any other YouTuber matchups. Logan versus Jake Paul. That's always been in the talks. KSI versus Jake Paul, of course, is one that everyone wants to see. Sam Hyde versus iDubbbz. But also, what do y'all think about this situation? Will Creator Clash get canceled? Will they just add more fights? Will this event get delayed or even sell? Could you imagine watching this on meth streams and it's just completely empty in the background with only like a handful of people like watching, and like up close seats are in the very back? That would be kind of funny, I'm not gonna lie. Let me know what you all think in the comments down below. Make sure to follow my Twitter, is linked in the description below as well. Make sure to like and subscribe as I make videos on lolcows, internet dramas, and stuff around this. I made several videos on iDubbbz at this point, but in the end, I'm PERK30, and keep God close.